Your Excellency, Nidal Katamin, Minister of Transportation, it's a pleasure to meet you for the first time and to meet you in such an important event. Dr. Abu Jaber, congratulations on this launch. If you allow me to say, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, honorable guests, all protocol observed. As UN Women, I take really great pride and pleasure to be here and join you this morning to launch this very, very important project that is supported by the UN Trust Fund to End Violence Against Women. And I'm delighted that this is actually happening on the 30th anniversary of the UN Trust Fund, which was created in 1996. The Trust Fund is a fund that's administered by UN Women on behalf of the UN system that supports civil society initiatives that are addressing key issues in terms of violence against women and girls. And the fund has supported so far, invested over $250 million in well over 800 projects in 140 countries. But one thing that very few people know is that over the last few years, the fund has had a disproportionate investment in Jordan. And that's not because the fund has decided that Jordan deserved more projects than others. It's because the fund allocates its funding based on the quality of the project proposals that it receives. And listening to the presentation so far this morning, I'm not surprised that this incredible project from Joe Womenomics was selected. You know, when we work, and this is our work, our priority as UN Women, when we work to advance gender equality, to advance the empowerment of women in politics, in the economy, or to stop violence against women, the first thing we do is work on laws and on policies. And here in Jordan, there's been incredible progress over the last few years, really to advance laws and policies to promote women's participation in politics, and we've seen the results in the last parliamentary elections, but also in the economy. But laws and policies are not often, or are most of the time, not sufficient. And what we hear and what we see is that there's very practical issues that need to be addressed. As I go around Jordan, which I do quite a lot, whether it's to Irbid or Aqaba or Ma'an in different parts of the country, one recurrent theme that is discussed and that's presented to me that women talk about when we talk about their role in the economy is that of transportation. This is really a logistical issue first and foremost. Globally, we actually know that 3 out of 5 women are facing violence in public transport. We don't have, or we didn't have so far, very detailed numbers for Jordan, and it's great that you're going to be coming up with those numbers very soon. But what we know is that there's real violence, sexual harassment, and there's perceived insecurity. And clearly, in Jordan, like in every country, you're going to have some cases of real harassment, but you also have a very, very clear, broad-ranged perception that public transport is not safe for women. So if we want to be true to unlocking women's economic potential, to support their role in the economy and labor force participation, we need to address this issue. And so it's really fantastic to see that this is at the core of your project. Another reason why I think this project is really innovative and fantastic is that I have to be frank that globally, we support civil society wherever we go. But too often, we see initiatives that are driven by civil society independently from government efforts. So here, to see that this project is really a partnership from the very start between civil society and the Greater Amman Municipality and the Ministry of Transport, this reassures us that it will be not only impactful, which a lot of civil society projects are, but it will be sustainable, and that it can be scaled up. And as I was reading the news, I couldn't help knowing that we would have this launch today. I couldn't help thinking that this is an application, this is a process that would be extremely useful for the new AMRA city that is being discussed. And I know there were consultations over the last few days led by the Prime Minister. So really, there's a huge potential for scaling. It's also great to see that this confirms the investment that the Greater Amman Municipality has really had over the last few years in advancing the SDGs and in monitoring its own advancement of the SDGs through voluntary national reviews of its work. So on behalf of UN Women, on behalf of the UN Trust Fund, I really want to congratulate you on this launch. I have to say this is something we're extremely interested, so we want to stay very connected with you, with the Ministry on Transport, with the Greater Amman Municipality, because it really fits within a broader initiative that we have globally that looks at safe cities. How do you make cities not just modern, convenient, accessible for all the users, whether women, people with disability, but you make them safe for everybody. And you taking a first step in this journey today. So thank you very much and congratulations.